Hello, friends. Let's talk about salt circles and salt baths. I, you know, always enjoy taking a salt bath. It helps to rejuvenate me, helps to draw out, aches and pains, of course, depending on the salt used, particularly with Epsom salt. I feel just so much at peace and I'm able to relax more. In salt circles, as a result of some bad stuff that was going on here earlier in the year, I started kind of having to do salt circles. And I've continued doing salt circles, at least one to two every month, depending on how bad and negative things are going on in my life. And I can say that it definitely does draw out the negativity a little differently, I find, than when, say, I'm taking a salt bath. It, depending on how negative things are, I do feel at times, say, a little more maybe sickly, more nauseous, headachy, more foggy. Not all the time, or each time I do a salt circle, but it really depends on the amount of negativity I've been around, have allowed myself to be, involved in or whatever. But it is very refreshing. It definitely, I feel clearer in the mind after doing a salt circle versus doing a salt bath. Um, I think, more connected with certain members of my spiritual family when I do a salt circle versus when I do a salt bath. I definitely feel maybe more like ancestral, like more angelic interaction, connection when I take a salt bath versus when I sit in and do a salt circle. With that, I feel more of I don't know if this is the right way of saying it, but more of a harsher, tougher type of a spiritual connection. More protective, maybe. What's the word I'm looking for? Aggressive comes to mind, but I don't want to necessarily use that term. I feel more of the gods and goddesses that I work with around more. When I do salt circles, I feel more of I feel angelic presences around, but it's more of a different type of an angelic presence, maybe more of a defending type of a situation. Not what they call a warring angel type of a deal. It's more of a defensive, like you can feel them like kind of like on the outskirts, like kind of just in like a defensive, protective type manner. Um, I do get more insight doing a salt bath as far as messages and things than I do doing a salt circle. Um, it's almost like the salt bath is more of a way to release and regain, messages, to get more of that kind of a situation, versus the salt circle, for me personally, is more of a way to just release negativity so that positivity can come back in. Out with the old, in with the new, versus salt bath where I am releasing and I am being refilled with information. Uh, if that makes sense. And it may be totally different for you, but for me, that's how it works. Sitting in a salt circle is not, as Hollywood shows you, of you're sitting in there and you just, you're trying to release something or it's evil or whatever. Not saying that's not the case, because it is used for that, but it's not that way for every time you use a salt circle. If you're really feeling just absolutely just angry, you're feeling negative to the max, angry, frustration, aggravation, annoyance, rage. Sit in a salt circle. Sit in a salt circle, meditate while you're doing it, talk out loud. What I do is I talk out loud about the things that have made me feel those feelings, those negative feelings. Talk about what has been negative around me, and that really helps to kind of get it out. Just to kind of push it out more, and I feel much lighter when I get out of a salt circle. I feel much more at ease and much more at peace. I don't feel edgy and those kind of things. And some of that is the same with a salt bath, whereas I feel just so much love when I get out of a salt bath. I feel just absolutely I just feel like I'm radiating love. It's just a whole different type of a feeling. Not saying one's positive, one's negative by any means like that, but I do believe that they do work separately from each other. So don't discredit or discount using either or both of them. Like I say, especially if you've been around somebody or a few people that's been just negative, a salt bath will work, but try sitting in a salt circle. Put you down some, like a drop cloth or, something where you can maybe pick that salt up and not have to vacuum it up or sweep it up. But if you want to do that, that's fine. But you need to get rid of that salt afterwards, and just sit there for a while. You just sit there for a long time, 30 minutes, 15, 30 minutes. I usually like to sit for about an hour. I've got the time and I make the time and I sit there for about an hour or longer if I have to, depending on what I've got to work out. With a salt bath, oh my gosh, I could lay in the tub for, several hours. Sometimes I do. But, you may have to, add a little more salt and heat the water up a little more because the sun got cold. But, bringing some candles in there and, some incense or whatever, light a candle. It's got some nice scent to it. And, maybe listen to a good podcast, an audio book, listen to some meditative music, talk to your spiritual family, that kind of thing. But that, for me, kind of helps me with dealing with things going on in my life. But I just wanted to explain to you what I feel personally. I'm no expert by any means, but for me personally, the difference between the two for me and what they do for me. If they do something different for you, then it works for you, then that's great. But I don't want people to think that it's strictly used to draw out demons and evil spirits doing a salt circle. Is it used for that? Yes. Can it be used for that? Yes. But it's not totally that. It can be beneficial in many other ways. So, hope this kind of helps clear up maybe some confusion or questions you may have had. So, until next time.